Howdy, howdy, and welcome to Mo's World, the baseball podcast. Yep, another baseball podcast. Here we talk about baseball like a few friends sitting at the bar. We're excited to bring you our latest episode. If you enjoyed the podcast, spread the word to your friends. Alrighty, I apologize if you thought we vanished last Friday. I ended up moving our podcast to the BiWeekly episodes of every other week for the off season to try to get some of the playoff series in. In Season 2, Episode 38, we are going to recap the Divisional Playoff Games and ask that question: why did certain teams lose? All right, so we had the Yankees and Blue Jays. This was, pretty contentious, I would think. And Game 1 was pretty ugly if you were a Yankee fan, and a big breath of relief if you were a Blue Jay fan. The Blue Jays entered the playoffs not hitting too well in September and dealing with the Bo Bichette injury as well. Basically, Gausman looked like a god, and the Yankees had a typical no-hit playoff game. Luis Gil made his postseason debut, but it was not a memorable one, as he lasted only 2 2/3 innings, giving up 2 runs, and the Yankee bullpen then relinquished 8 more runs the rest of the way, as the Blue Jays destroyed them 10-1. Game 2 was not much better, as Max Fried had an unfortunately timed poor game. Result: destroyed. Blue Jays had a slight concern as the bullpen did cough up 5 runs in the 7th, but they held tight for an easy 13-7 trouncing with 29 hits in 2 games. Game 3, had Carlos Rodon going for the Yankees, and he was going against Shane Bieber of the Blue Jays. And Bieber's been so-so of late, but the Yankees obviously relying heavily on Rodon to pitch a good game. After 3 innings, the Blue Jays led 6-3 and were looking pretty good to wrap up the series. I guess the Blue Jays had no patience in Shane Bieber, as he was pulled after only 51 pitches and 2 2/3 innings. Well, typically, in this case, the curse of 2025 hit them. The bullpen proceeded to give up 6 runs as the Blue Jays ran 6 pitches out in relief. This game made it pretty obvious, though, that this year's round of playoffs saw something different. Yes, same old with the Yankee lineup not coming through time after time, but Aaron Judge is doing something he never did in the playoffs. He's hitting consistently. Judge completed Game 3 hitting .500 for the series so far and hitting his first home run. Unfortunately, his hitting is not contagious on the Yankees, as Vladimir Guerrero's hitting is very contagious to the Blue Jays. So did the Yankees just get lucky this game? In Game 4, had wild card hero, the new hero, Cam Schlittler, on the mound for the Yankees, and a bullpen game by the Blue Jays. Now, that to me said the Blue Jays were not too intimidated or worried at all. The rookie pitched well, again, going 6 3 innings, giving up only 2 earned runs, and a big error by Jazz Chisholm did the Yankees in. But they didn't hit. It's as simple as that. Another Yankee playoff series where they did not show up. Seriously, let's get this out of the way now. The Yankees have been constructed to fail in the postseason. When teams scout for the playoffs and potential meetings, they are looking at how individuals match up to their staff, how they may have to pitch to certain hitters in different strategies. But when teams scout the Yankees, they basically must laugh, saying, they're all the same to every hitter. They're all fucking the same. They employ the sink or swim approach. They chase the same pitches. They don't make enough contact. They make it easy for other teams who can execute pitching. Now, the Blue Jays don't have a great starting staff or bullpen, yet the Yankees imploded again. You don't win a playoff series with one player performing. So, gotta say, kudos to Aaron Judge, who wrapped up a great season with a masterful performance and losing another playoff series. So, we bust Judge's balls about his playoff performances. As I've said in the past, it is totally different now to compare stats of postseason when talking of an era before 1969. Let's look at Mickey Mantle's stats. Now, they were World Series stats. 12 World Series he played in as opposed to one by Aaron Judge. But all Judge needed was one single dominant postseason, and his stats now look comparable to Mickey Mantle. Yep. Okay, both players played in 65 games. Judge has 246 at-bats, Mantle 230. Judge has hit 8 doubles, Mantle 6. Judge has 0 triples, Mickey Mantle 2 triples. Judge has hit 17 home runs, Mantle 18 home runs. Judge has had 42 runs scored, Mickey Mantle scored 42 runs. Judge has produced 41 RBIs, Mickey Mantle 40 RBIs. Judge has hit 236 overall in the playoffs. Mickey has hit 257 in his career. As far as on-base percentage, Judge is sitting at 346, and Mickey Mantle had a 374. You ask about slugging. Judge has had a 476 slugging, Mickey Mantle 535. OPS plus, Judge is sitting at 117 in the playoffs. Mickey Mantle had a career of 123. Look what one good season did to Aaron Judge's career stats. I believe now Aaron Judge can tell every one of his postseason critics, go fuck yourselves. So, we've talked a lot about this series. I believe the results were expected again. Sorry, guys. Go check out Season 2, Episode 20, The Demise of the Yankees Era. This is who they are unless Brian Cashman and Aaron Boone are fired. Unfortunately, it will not happen. And even if it did, the Yankees don't have a Gene Michaels anymore in their front office because that was the last time you saw a team constructed to win. Cashman inherited talent and got lucky. So let's not forget about the other games. Tigers versus the Mariners. After the Tigers squeaked by the Guardians, what they did, well, I think most people expected the Tigers to collapse. But I think the Tigers felt relief. After blowing a huge lead to lose the division, I think the Tigers were just saying, okay, can we start over? But could they really put that shitty hitting and spotty starting and bullpen performances that haunted them all summer behind them? Well, both teams continued their no-hit offense in games 1 and 2. The Tigers took the first game 3-2. In the second game, the Mariners took the second game 3-2. The series was tied heading back to Detroit. And, in game 3, Flaherty gives up 4 runs in 3 1/3. Then the bullpen gives up 4 the rest of the way. Not a good formula as the Tigers lost 8-4. Game 4, wow. This was stupid 2025 managing, and that did the Mariners in on game 3. What have we been saying? The team that gets the most out of the starters will be the World Series champs this year. Bryce Miller was cruising along throwing 55 pitches, but manager Dan Wilson pulled him after only 4 1/3. He gave up 2 runs and 4 hits. Well, that opened the doors. The Mariners bullpen coughed up 7 runs, 9 hits. Tigers came back to win big 9-3. We're all tied. Game 5. Oh, shit. Are you kidding me? Wow. 15 innings to decide Game 5. Can't say it was exciting, but no surprises really as Skubal went 6 innings and the Mariners' Kirby went 5. It was 1-1 when both starters left the game. From the 7th until the 15th, all we saw was dominating bullpens. It was a classic duel, and these pens performed much better than the previous month. Tommy Conley unfortunately gave up the winning run, and just like that, the Mariners have a chance to move forward and play the Blue Jays. I've said it all year long. I do not get this Mariners team. They hit, they go silent. They pitch great, they give up games on platters. What the fuck? Which team will show up? You never know. So the Mariners get to live another series. And over in the National League, Dave Roberts has been, he's like an old dog learning new tricks. For years, the Dodgers have been yanking starters after 4 or 5 innings and relying on the bullpen. But even Dave Roberts has recognized that this year, the year of the imploding bullpen, and he doesn't want to give him that opportunity. Holy shit, finally a smart manager. Roberts said he's going to ride his starters because he doesn't trust his bullpen. Smart fucking move. The Brewers, not as smart. But they came out hitting, taking games 1 and 2 at home over the Cubs 9 and 3 and 7 and 3. We saw 7 pitchers throw in the bullpen game 2, and all you can say about the Brewers is staying alive, staying alive. But home cooking back at Wrigley, we had ourselves a tie series at 2-2. Both teams relying heavily on their bullpens in this series. Game 5, another bullpen game as the Brewers this time rode the relief arm of rookie Jacob Misiorowski. He got his second win going for 4 terrific innings for the win. But is the Brew Crew back? Well, meanwhile, the Dodgers are playing a new kind of ball, as we said. Tani went 6 innings, and Glasnow went 1 2/3 in the opener, and that pretty much locked it up. Dodgers take the game 5-3. Sanchez of the Phillies looked good, but he only lasted 5 2/3 innings, as the Phillies bullpen, they coughed up 3 runs to lose the game. Game 2 saw Blake Snell go 6 innings, giving up 1 measly single to the Phillies, and the Dodgers bullpen still almost blew this game, giving up 3 runs late as the Dodgers won 4-3 to take a 2-0 lead heading back home. Now, Game 3 in LA land was interesting. Yamamoto goes only 4 innings, and the Dodgers bullpen implodes to lose the game 8-2. Now I understand why Dave Roberts wants the starters to pitch. The bullpen is throwing gas on the fire. Game 4 was wild. Back to the script. Phillies get 6 innings out of Sanchez, and the Dodgers get 6 innings out of Glasnow as it's tied 1-1 after 9. It sucks to lose a game in 11 innings on a weird error, but the Dodgers are now in control as they take the series, over the Phillies now. I mean, it appears the arms of the Dodgers starters are healthy, and they're ready to be leaned on. This is their recipe for victory. Well, let's bring on the Brewers for the Dodgers. And over in the American League, we've got the Mariners and Blue Jays. Game 1 had the Mariners holding the Blue Jays to only 2 hits in an easy 3-1 win. Game 2 proved the Mariners can hit as they destroyed the suddenly lame Blue Jays bats 10-3. And in Game 3, the Blue Jays have remembered how to hit big time as the Blue Jays pounded out 18 hits in a 13-4 walk over the Mariners. Was it a fluke? Is the offense back? Well, we'll find out Thursday night because, Max Scherzer is starting for the Blue Jays, and you got to ask, how many innings is he going to last? Luis Castillo of the Mariners, he's got to pitch past the 6th inning. The Mariners have to rely on him to win this game. Big game. And back over in the National League, the Dodgers are back on track, I think. Game 1, it saw Blake Snell go 8 innings. And Blake, I'm out of here at the 5 Snell, going 8 innings. Snell goes killer. He was definitely killer. But the Dodger pen still almost blew it, giving up a run. But the Dodgers prevailed. Game 2, holy shit. Yamamoto goes 9 innings, giving up only 1 run. Recognize a theme here? Peralta of the Brewers, just not enough, going 5 2/3, giving up 3 runs. The Dodgers with an easy 5-1 win. Game 3, we was back to LA as the Dodgers plan to wrap the series, and they sent Tyler Glasnow to the mound. Obviously, that's this evening, as we are in production on Thursday, and Thursday night these games will be taking place. So both the Dodgers and Mariners have early leads, but I think these are the World Series matchups. I'm going with Dodgers in 5 over the Mariners as they lose their first World Series after a long wait of 48 years. They finally got into it. I feel the Dodgers will win back-to-back for the first time since the Yankees won in 98, 99, and 2000. And why? Well, they seem to be riding the starting arms longer than any other team. Dave Roberts recognized he must make this move to bleed the starters. It's a great job managing, and I gotta see. It's early, but let's see what happens the rest of the series. Well, I think that's a wrap for today. Thank you for joining us for the 38th episode of Season 2 of Mo's World, the baseball podcast. We are now on our off-season schedule of new episodes every other Friday. Each episode lasts approximately 20 minutes. We appreciate your support and encourage you to share the podcast with your friends. Our next episode will be released in 2 weeks on Friday, October 31st. Looks like it's going to be our Halloween edition. So we look forward to seeing you then. In the meantime, ask yourself, whose world is it? It's Mo's World.